On the defense sector, obviously there will be discussions between the two sides. That, as I said, is one of the pillars of our cooperation. As far as I'm aware, there will be no announcement regarding any specific agreements that have been reached. As far as the S-400 is concerned, Pranay, this is a matter which is handled by the Ministry of Defense. So you will have to direct a question to them as to how far we have proceeded in the implementation of the agreement. As far as oil and gas is concerned, Aditya, I think, as I said, one of the objectives of this visit is in fact to diversify and not to have a dependency on any one country or any one region. To that extent, we are looking at two entirely different issues. One is exploration of oil and gas in proven areas where there are reserves. And as I said, we expect actually to be possibly even announcing, by we I mean the public sector corporations, not the government of India, in announcing some investments in new oil clusters, oil field clusters. The other is, of course, import of LNG from Russia, and there too, as far as I'm aware, there is a proposal, there is something concrete which will either be announced during the visit or just after the visit. So, in other words, there is the intent to develop a greater ties in energy between India and Russia is going to be followed by actual action on the ground. Reverse order, no new agreement is going to be signed at this annual summit. We are at the moment in the process of implementing the 6 units of Kudankulam nuclear power plant, and obviously there will be some discussion in progressing that aspect. Sandeep, the oil pipeline between India and Russia is still very much a subject for discussion, but of course it involves certain other countries en route, and there is more than one complication involved there. So I would presume that while discussion would take place, any concrete development would depend upon how the issue of US sanctions on Iran progresses, as well as, of course, our relationship with Pakistan, because it traverses both these regions. Maha, as far as Malaysia and Zakir Naik is concerned, as I said, as of now, we are still waiting for confirmations on the bilateral. So I really do not wish to comment at this stage on what issues might be raised, but we will certainly do a briefing thereafter. And if there is a meeting with Malaysia, we will certainly brief the media on what was discussed. We have a consulate in Vladivostok. That consulate continues to be in operation, and there is absolutely no intention of closing it down. For us, in fact, its salience has increased as the whole issue of the Indo-Pacific is becoming more and more important to us. And also, if the Northern Sea route or the Arctic route opens, shipping will go via Vladivostok to Europe over the Northern Sea route. So we in fact envisage that the consulate will probably become more and more important rather than less and less relevant. As far as the diamond trade is concerned, you're absolutely correct. We've had one or two Indian companies also investing there. The idea is to get into it in a much greater way, because we have a large diamond processing industry in India, and one of the possibilities therefore is seeing if private sector investment is possible, and linked to that also manpower exports in that regard, because there's a shortage of people even to process diamonds there. So this is something which is one of the focal points of our efforts in the Russian Far East. Venkatji, I have details of likely MOUs that the private sector will sign. Obviously, the idea of the government cum business delegation was that the government would facilitate the process. But by itself, other than umbrella MOUs, and I mentioned some of them, the governments are not going to sign MOUs of a commercial nature. But FICCI has shared with us the information of some of the MOUs which may be signed. And without going into the companies concerned, I would say there are about 15 or 16 which could be signed, mostly in the private sector, but some which involve PSUs as well. Now, again, the sectors concerned, I think, are mining, skills development, steel, medicine, education, and agriculture. And as I said, most of them are private sector MOUs that are going to be signed. Siddhant, just to be absolutely clear, the Russian Federation has clearly stated that they stand fully behind India on this whole issue. And that issue is on the issue of Jammu and Kashmir, whether it is Article 370, whether it is cross-border terrorism, we have no doubt, and this has been reiterated when External Affairs Minister recently visited, that the Russian side is fully behind us on this matter.